Hi everyone, my name's Harrold from Go Be Great, and today I'm here with Karen and Karl of Roots Wellbeing, and we're going to go through a breathing experience for a little brain break. The technique that we're going to use is diaphragmatically breathing through the nose and various verbal cues and instructions for how to move the head, how to move the skull, how to move the neck, while at the same time balancing out the different qualities of the prefrontal cortexes of the brain. Karen is going to obtain the vibrancy of the technique in a seated position, and Karl has chosen the supine position with his knees up, which supports his sacrum, optimal digestion, brings the cardiovascular system down, so it's a wonderful tool either way you choose to do it today. So let's begin. Let's let our eyes close and become aware of the nostril breathing, and begin to become one with the in-breath, taking the energy of the outer world and drawing it up into your sinuses, down into your abdomen. And begin to soften the chest and the shoulders, the mid to low back. And noticing if I slow down the pace of my inhale, what happens to the neurochemistry of my brain? If I relax my eyes, my lips and jaw, what happens to the quality of the moment? And just begin to inhale a little bit longer than you normally do. And tracing the diaphragmatic breath, the initiation of the inhale, we want the belly to swell and the organs of digestion to move off their normal spinal attachments. At the midpoint of the exhale, we want to feel the lower ribs pull down. And at the apex of the inhale, we want to feel the upper ribs lift towards the collarbone. And just to feel a little bit more on each inhale. And for the next few moments, when the inhale is complete, hold the breath in for a 2 count. And let an internal pressure form while we're keeping the energy in the lungs a little bit longer. You don't have to hold long. When we're holding the breath in, notice the mind sits in stillness. The normal ticker tape of film of the movie we're watching in our head stops. And we can rest in that space that sometimes seems like nothing. But as we look deeper in the nothing, we see something that then begins to form everything that seems to be missing up until that moment in our life. So just using this slower inhale and brief internal breath retention for a centering. Letting go of external time constraints, external relationships, and just tuning in to your internal channel. Beautiful. One more round, everyone. And then let your breath find its own way back. Let go of controlling the autonomic function of respiration. Let the body and the mind breathe on its own. Karen, bringing the chin down to the chest, opening up the back of the cervical spine towards the sky. Let's roll the right ear over to the right shoulder. Karl, you can turn the head to the right. And when you can't go any further safely, pause. Stop and get that stretch. Now with your eyelids down, look up into the left prefrontal cortex of the brain, which qualities are words, numbers, rational linear thought, concepts, and strategies. On the next breath, Karen, roll your chin to your chest, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Karl, on the next breath, let the head slowly drift back to the center point of the body and then drift over to the left. When you can't go any further, pause, take a deep breath in, and with your eyelids down, look up into the right prefrontal cortex and notice the qualities of our intuition, creativity, curiosity, allowing questions to form around our normal habitual answers that we tell ourselves about ourself and life on a daily basis. Things that haven't happened yet. On the next breath, roll the chin down to the chest, go to the other side, make a transition. And anytime you're moving the body in a feeling experience, move it slower than what you normally are being told is the normal pace by your ego. Now look up into the left prefrontal cortex, and this is classically our IQ center. Roll the chin down to the chest, bring the left ear over to the left shoulder, and as you look up into the right prefrontal cortex, this is classically our EQ, our emotional intelligence. Bring the chin down to the chest, roll to the other side. Notice the neck warming up, looking up into the left prefrontal cortex, and just breathing through the throat, activating the thyroid, the trachea, the esophagus, the vagus nerve, the phrenic nerve, all the various systems that connect the body with the bottom of the brain. And then bringing the chin to the chest, going to the other side. Move the head left, mentally look right. Going slower than what your ego normally describes to you, make a transition to the other side. Pay close attention to what's happening when the forehead crosses the center line of your body. Classically here, the corpus callosum, a series of matted nerves that separate the two prefrontal cortexes into two brains inside one skull. One feels, one thinks. Make a transition to the other side, but pay attention to the center line. And activate this corpus callosum and allow it to be stronger in its ability to cross-laterally learn from the other prefrontal cortex. Continue at your own pace now, knowing that the right side of your brain barely even knows there's a left side over there, and the left side doesn't know there's a right. And as you go side to side, sense whole brain. Not a fragmented brain, but a whole brain. Keep the breath flowing through the mind, up and down the spine. And don't be afraid to fully feel what's present for you in this experience, because we can really take this brain break and go deep fast into a state of relaxation. And in that state of relaxation, there's opportunities to raise the quality of our thoughts rather than always having that run on quantity of thought. Bring yourself back to center sit up tall with your eyes closed, and go back to the initial breathing exercise, which is a slow motion inhale. The diaphragm's moving down into the gut. We're creating strong support in lumbar 4 and 5, and we're stabilizing the lower body. The breath evolves from the lower body up through the mid portion of the chest, mid portion of the back, all the way up to the clavicular or collarbone area of the body. We hold the breath in for just a moment, and we stabilize the mental processing centers, and then we have a choice. We have a choice in this moment. Do we need to react, or do we let it go? And in that, we conserve energy. So staying with this experience as long as time will allow you for today. Usually 8 to 20 minutes is enough time to give yourself the brain break, but also reset the autonomic nervous system from fight or flight sympathetic to rest and digest serotonin. My name's Eddie Harrold. On behalf of Karen and Karl, it was great to be with you today. I hope you got something out of it, and we'll look forward to seeing you really soon on the channel.